Welcome to the monthly market report for March of 2022. My name is Lori McShane and I am thrilled to be here today and talk about the three most important topics in the housing market. We are going to go over home prices and answer the question, are home prices accelerating? We are going to talk about supply and demand and how that is impacting home prices today. And truly, it's hard to believe that it was 2 years ago that we were in a worldwide pandemic that came upon us and swept through the nation. And fundamentally, it changed a lot of what we do. And the housing certainly wasn't immune to that. And a lot of things have changed in the housing market. And I think one of the biggest change is home price appreciation. So that is where I would like to start today and really reflect on what's happened over the past couple of years. So let's walk through this and what it means going forward as we look at the home price forecast as well. And I think one of the best places to start is with a deep dive into home price appreciation of last year. So the answer to the question, are home prices still accelerating, is yes. And we look at this graph and we see a percent year-over-year increases by month going all the way back to 2021, to January of 2021. So if we look over to the left side of January of 21, we saw 10% home price appreciation. So year over year from January of 2020 to January of 2021, home prices increased by 10%. And then you see month over month, it really started to accelerate through the year. Now, when we hit the summer, you see July, August, and so forth, it starts to level out at 18%. Very significant home price appreciation. Now, if we look at this on a state-by-state basis, this is a really interesting map. It shows changes in prices in the last year from the FHFA, and this is really interesting because what we can see is that the FHFA shows the national average is 17.5% and home price appreciation last year. Now, some states were higher and some states were lower, and you can see that across the board. But the reality of it is we don't have any depreciation in any state. Home prices were rising throughout the country, and again, a direct result of supply and demand. Home prices have definitely appreciated in value and have been historically a very strong investment. And the question becomes, as people are trying to decide what's the next big move going forward, what's going to happen throughout the rest of the year? We have to look at home price forecasts for 2022, and this is a chart I like to show because it shows the averages of what the experts are saying. There are 7 key entities who forecast out home prices throughout the rest of the year, and when you average all of those together in this green bar, you can see that they're projecting roughly 6.1% appreciation through the rest of this year. So CoreLogic is on a high end with 9.6, Zelman's on a low end right now with 3%. But again, the reality is all of the experts are saying that the home values are projected to continue to increase throughout the year. And that again is a direct result of supply and demand. And if we're really going to see the forecasted on an upward direction going forward as we continue to have low inventory on the market, there's a nod towards sellers that more are coming to the market this spring and more new construction. And that could ease some of this home price appreciation as more inventory is available. So we are seeing experts are all predicting home prices to rise. So I want to switch gears and talk about supply and demand because the balance is what's going to determine where home prices go. As a general law, supply and demand is at any time where there are more buyers for an item than there are people selling that item. Prices will rise because many people are willing to pay more for them. And here is a chart explaining the differences. Now, a neutral market is where this kind of balance things out. And a buyer market is where there are more homes available than buyers interested in purchasing them. So that causes prices to decline. So we are in a seller's market today, and I think, the question people want to know right now is, what does this mean from a listing perspective? When we look at the number of listings in the market, we've heard that inventory is historically low. But what does that really look like? So I'm going to show you new listings, and they are actually dramatically falling right now. This is a look at 2021 month by month of new listings coming to market in thousands. And what you can really see over here to the right hand side is October, November, December, listings really started to decline once again. So not as many listings coming to the market towards the end of the year. Now that is pretty typical for the housing market because we generally see listings softening through the winter and then picking back up again. And here is an active listings. And again, they're falling towards the end of the year. And this means homes are just selling as fast as they're coming to market. So buyers are in high demand. And there aren't enough homes on the market. They're not staying on the market. They're not staying active listings because they're going independent and sold so quickly. When we start to see inventory like this and prices start to rise so significantly because inventory is certainly driving in today's market, and this may bring up a question, are we going to see a housing bubble? So what I want to do here is really paint a picture of the inventory and a perspective of supply and demand as we are talking about today. And this next chart shows the inventory of homes today is nothing like 2007. So this is month's supply of existing homes for sale in December of each year. Now you can see on the left side of the 4 years of the housing crash and on the right side the past 4 years. So let me break this down for you. The orange bars on the left, 2007 through 2010, show that there was a buyer's market, that we had an oversupply of homes. And you remember that graph I just shared with you about the sellers, neutrals, and buyer's market. These bars show that we were in a buyer's market during the housing crash. 9.6 months of inventory in 2007, 9.4 in 2008, significantly higher than where we are today. And today, you can see us on the right side, over in the blue bars, 2018 to 2021. So even in 2018, we had a 3.7 months of inventory on the market. It was significantly higher than where we are today. Kind of a record low, if you'll say. And that was low, 3.7 months of inventory as we were going into the pandemic. And then you look at 2020 and 2021, there simply are not enough homes to go around. So when there aren't enough homes on the market, that is what drives prices up. But it is significantly different market than where we had in the housing crash. So take a look at buyer demand. We hit a record high, a 15-year record of existing home sales in 2021. So the number of existing home sales from 2019, 20, and 21, you can see 2019 was 5.4 million sales. We broke that record in 2020 at 5.6 million. And in 2021, just crushed that with 6.1 million homes sold in this country. So what does that say? That says buyers are out there. They're looking for homes, they're purchasing homes, and they're actively in the process. So we have high buyer demand and we have low inventory. Significantly different fundamental than where we were at the housing market when the bubble burst. And the truth is that people who are purchasing these homes can afford them this time. And I say that because I want to share this next data that shows you credit scores are nothing like last time either. This is a volume of loans in billions with a credit score less than 620. So you take a look at those orange bars, 2003 to 2007, significantly more loans issued to buyers who had a credit score of less than 620 than where we are now, 2008 to 2021. And you can see that those lending standards have gotten much tighter, meaning that the buyers are essentially showing the credentials that they'll be able to afford their home. And this is leading to loan opportunities. From this past chart, it shows different lending standards are creating a landscape that is nothing like last time. Credit scores are definitely tighter this time around. And if you are also worried about the other fundamentals of the market, let's think about equity for a second. Homeowners have a significantly more equity today, so they're in a much better financial position as homeowners in this process. So the data shows us that the fundamentals of the market are really a lot different than the last housing crash. And that wraps up this month's market report. So make sure that you subscribe and follow me so you don't miss next month's report. And of course, for more resources, you can always visit SellingWithLori.com.